Hey, good morning, everybody. You are back with the crew. So glad you could be here. I'm supposed to say at this point, hey, if you like my content, like and subscribe, because a lot of people, they don't wait to the end of the video, and that's usually when I say it, because that really makes more sense to me. If they like the video, they would like it at the end of the video. How would you know otherwise? Anyway, that's what I'm supposed to say. I'm so happy with the 200 subscribers that I have, that we don't need anybody else in this club, but more is better, I guess. Always good to share the love, right? Speaking of love, remember to do that for yourself and your friends and family, and try and do your best to love everybody in your job and your workplace. We're all in this together, guys, and it's good stuff. Today's video is about 5 acres in which I bought, just over 5 acres, that I bought exactly 5 years ago now, and we love it. We have made a small farm out of it. It's a park-like setting. If you've seen some of the videos, you probably already know it's forested oak, rolling hills, beautiful piece of property. So 5 years ago, I met this man who owned this property. He's a bit of a wheeler dealer guy, and a lot of people are, but he was also very conservative in the fact that he was a gold bug, which resonated with me because I really have always appreciated silver. I've been investing in silver since the Hunt brothers, and that's way, way, way back in the early 80s. So, anyway, he had told me, oh, I got this. My daughter's aunt has just passed and left her a bunch of money. And not a bunch of money, but, I believe it was like 20 grand. And she says, I want to be able to pay for her college at least with this. What do you think about gold and silver? And I said, well, you already have a bunch of that, don't you? Have you looked into cryptos? And he said, well, yeah, kind of a little bit, but it seems so risky. And I thought, well, you might just put 1,000 or something, or 500 of it in there and maybe see what happens, but that's just an idea. So he calls me a week later and he says, what do you think about Ethereum? And I said, yeah, I really like the project. I own quite a bit of it. So this is 2017. He calls me a week later. He says, hey, gosh, that was so easy. I bought $5,000 worth of Ethereum for my daughter for her college. I said, God, that's great. That's perfect. 15, 20 years from now when she needs it, 15 years or less, I guess, when she needs it, that thing's going to be through the roof. Good job. I'm really proud of you. And the key is to leave the thing alone, right? It's in the kids' trust or in her piggy bank for, later in life. So, as all of us know who've been around 5 years of crypto, 2018 came along. Well, he calls me up and he says, hey, gosh, man, thank you so much for that tip. Thanks for telling me about Ethereum. I didn't know anything about it. Hey, I cashed out and I made 15 grand. And I went, you what? And he goes, yeah, we tripled our money. And I was like, yeah, I thought it was for your daughter's, college. Oh, well, yeah, but gosh, we made 3 times our money. Now, if you're a gold bug, tripling your money is like unheard of, right? Nobody does that in precious metals. Like in my lifetime, that's happened twice in silver, something like that. I don't know, whatever, not very often. So it was fun to hear that he'd made money. He didn't lose money. That was cool. But the bottom line was, I was so like, why didn't you just take a third of it out, getting your money back, right? Or pay for your investment, and let the rest ride in the college fund. Oh, well, it's a risky, look how much it's gone down and this and this and that. Okay, so I jotted down a couple of numbers here. This is Ethereum. And in 2017, near as I can remember the dates, okay, he had 142 Ethereum. 142 of them. Yeah, that's a big number, right? So at its all-time high of $4,600, which was just last year, which was within 5 years, certainly within the time in which she would be in college, that would have been valued at $650,000. Yeah. And he made 10. He made 10 grand. In 5 years, he could have cashed out at the peak if he had been that, successful enough to cash out at the peak. Now, it's worth, if you do the math today, it's worth $220,000, even after it's gone down 70% and we're in a bear market today. It's 220 grand, his $5,000 investment 5 years ago. Now, I don't know what university you need to go to, but I would say that would be but that should cover a 4-year stint. I don't know, but I'm guessing 220 grand would probably do it. His daughter's college fund, okay? So now she's 13 years old, would be paid for. We are on the brink. We're weeks away from this merger, okay? Shooting this video, it's the 23rd of August. 24th of August, sorry. And it's going to be 2.0, or the merge, as they're calling it now, on September 15th. So what is that, 3 weeks? 3 weeks away. So between now and then, everybody and their brother wishes they had more Ethereum. This man probably has kicked himself numerous times, or he's simply, like most people, they just put their head in the sand and they just say, well, you know what, yeah, I made a lot of money and I'm happy with the money I made. Well, that's cool too. I get that. And that's way better than losing money, obviously, and it's way better than his account being down and him calling me every 20 minutes and saying, wow, this thing went down, what's the matter with it? I do remember when he first bought it, he was like, oh, it's down 20%, which it would be very painful if you were just a gold bug. Moral of this story, so sorry about the helicopter. It's either roosters or helicopters around here lately, and I'm sorry about that. I can't do much about it. I live in the mountains of California. And for some crazy reason, our state, although marijuana is 100% legal, even for casual use, our spending, I have no idea, have millions of dollars with helicopters flying around and burning crops down. So I don't get it. I don't grow it. I don't smoke it. But, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Either you legalize it or you didn't, or I don't know. I guess they want their tax revenue. It's it's almost like the old moonshiner days, right? Where it was the tax man that really busted or enforced all the policemen of, moonshiners. Oh, they're not paying tax on it. That was their big issue. So the state needs their tax money. All right. Back to the video, Ellen. Ethereum's on the brink of doing something that it's been trying to do since I told this guy about this 5 years ago. Think about that. 5 years they've been pounding this thing out with good news and bad news. I want to talk about what I believe Ethereum to be. I believe, this is my opinion only, do I own, total disclaimer here, I do own some Ethereum. I used to own a lot of Ethereum back in the day, and I did pretty good. We did good. I started buying it when it was $25 each, so you can imagine back when I bought it. Kind of wish I'd saved some of those, by the way, as an investment. But I have some still. Back to the Ethereum. It's, in my humble opinion, is not the finest product out there. It is, I prefer Polkadot. I prefer Hashgraph. There's two or three. I prefer Cardano. And you ask why? Why, Alan? Why? What is it you don't like about it? It's got this giant network, and all these people are under their umbrella. ERC20 tokens. There's thousands of them out there. I've never trusted their style. I don't get that gut feeling inside about them. And I go by emotions in life. I go by what I feel about things. Sure, I study a lot of things, but when it comes down to making big decisions, I like to sit down, I like to calm my mind, I like to meditate or do whatever it is, and what comes to me in a positive manner typically works. I've been very successful and very happy in my lifetime using that. In particular, in recent years, it's really helped me out with investment, and it's calming of your mind and not listening to too much of the FUD and getting crazy with things, because they'll tell you the sky's falling tomorrow. On that note, I have to talk about this. I keep hearing every economist in the world saying we're going into a recession, the market's going to crash. I almost feel like crypto's already crashed. I don't know that it's at the bottom. I have no idea. None of us know, right? But I know that real estate's on its way down, because all around me people are taking less and less and less for the property around us. So saying that, is real estate down 50%? No way, not even close. Maybe 5-10% in this area. Crypto's already down 70%. Is it nearing its bottom? Possibly. Could it go down another 50%? Possibly. It could. But you're still getting a discount at these levels. Reason why I'm saying that. There's a buying opportunity if you're involved in Ethereum currently. Buy the news, right? Because the news is the 15th is the big day. I would sell, if you're a swing trader and you're just thinking about trading the next couple of days, it would be probably a good idea to sell on the 15th or 16th. Just chip. Let's see how that video plays out. Let's see how that comes to be. I'm saying it's going to go up 20 to 25 to 50% in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and it will start to fall the day the merge happens. Short-term call, we'll see. I'll post this video tomorrow, so this video will come out on, I don't know, probably this weekend, so, long before that whole thing goes down. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not in a prediction business. I am in a long-term buy and hodl, and I'm more of a dollar cost average guy. Not financial advice, any of this stuff. I had a compliment the other day on something, and I really, really, really appreciate it. It's a lot when somebody puts themselves out there on a spiritual level, because a lot of people can take your spiritual place in your life as that's not what I believe in, that's dark magic, or that's this or that's that. I had an amazing compliment the other day on a video that I've done recently, and I'm trying to put more of myself out there and less of just reading the news and telling you what I think about crypto or what I think about your life or my life together. I'm trying to give you what I really feel on an emotional and spiritual level on this channel, and it's been successful in my life. I've believed that I've been a pillar of strength for the people around me, and I think I can be that for us in this crew together. So that's really the hope and dream that I have for this channel, is that in a topsy-turvy, chaotic, crazy world in which some of us consume that information all day long, Maybe you have a channel to where it's like, hey, you know what? I really want to hear what the crew has to say today. I really want to just hear what the captain's going to calm me down and talk me off the ledge, because the sky isn't falling and markets aren't going to zero. And every economist is telling me the same thing. And I just want to point this one little point out. It's so important I want you to think about this. They printed $10 trillion in the last 2 years. Now, almost every economist in the world is going to tell you that's a terrible thing. Oh my God, it's going to crash the market. It's bad for the economy. It's bad for the dollar. It's creating inflation. I'm going to ask you something. If you're thirsty and they make more water, is that a bad thing? This planet is flush with cash. It's saturated with cash and money and digits. That means there's more for all of us. And that's a concept that I want all of us to try and remember. The more money out there, the more opportunity. That's just how it is. When things get tight and when there's less printing and when there's more tightening like they're trying to do right now, that's when it gets more difficult to earn money. Another way that gets very difficult to earn money is when you think it's too scarce or too difficult, or you're going into a recession, or it's going to crash, or we don't have any way to make a buck. All of those create the illusion of a recession. And I'm not saying we're not in a recession. I believe that we are, but it doesn't have to be doomsday, end of the day. It just doesn't have to be that way, guys, because we are blessed on this planet. And all of us thrive off of each other in commerce. And I know I mention that a lot, and it's so important. And I really mean that. All of us survive because we grow stuff, and you consume stuff, and you deliver stuff, and that guy's a truck driver, and this guy's a clerk, and he sells the stuff, and this is the restaurateur, and that guy's the waiter, and that guy's the bartender. All of that is enough to sustain us all. It really is. We don't need from the bankers up. We don't need them. They're a draw on our economy. But they're thriving. So we should be thriving as well. And I know we are. And I hope we don't have a terrible recession ahead of us. I really don't believe it. I don't see it in the cards, but who knows? I'm wrong half the time, at least half the time, right? All right, guys, just a little Ethereum story for you guys, and I hope you got something from it. 5 years. Try and think about buying something for 5 years, because it'll show you these dips. I've been through 3 large drawdowns of at least 70% now. And every time it goes back up the other side of the mountain, that mountain is always taller. Just a tip. Again, if you like this content, I'd love to bring you more of it. So, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Okay. Bit of used car salesman, that one.